Hey noobs, Mordecai here. I'm going to try to put together a series of videos, advice, and things I wish I knew when I first started. And one of the things I wanted to know when I first started playing was how to get my hands on some power armor. So I'll show you some that you can get pretty close to Vault 76 when you first start. The first one is going to be Point Pleasant by the Mothman Museum. And just follow the route that I'm going to take in the video. I'm going to speed up the video a little bit for time and to give me less things that I have to talk about to try to fill when I'm recording the video here. Most of the enemies I took out when I first, before I recorded. This area can be a little complicated, but this is the most direct route to where you need to go. There's not always going to be one where we go. If not, then you can just reload and it might be there. The next place is the Holt Homestead. There's usually going to be mongrels here. If you're low level, they can be a little dangerous, so take your time when you do this. Also in the field up ahead, there's quite a few bugs, and they can gang up on you pretty quick. When you first get here, there's going to be a lockpick you have to pick. It's only level 1, so it shouldn't be hard to get through. And then there should be a power armor there. The next place is the Morgantown Train Yard. When you get here, you're going to be looking for an army green train cart. The next place is Arctos Pharma. There should be some robots and I believe some mongrels you might have to fight off, so again, take your time. There should be a garage around this side. And you make your way across some platforms and some scaffolding at the top. There should be a computer terminal that requires 0 skill in hacking. But hopefully you have better skill than I had when I'm trying to break in here. But when you do, it'll open the gate and there should be some power armor in there. The power armor I highly recommend for new players, and even for just about anybody, but specifically new players, is Excavator power armor. It has a high capacity for carrying weight, and it's pretty easy to get early on. So as long as you're careful, you can pull this off pretty early on. Head over to Garahan Estate, and there should be a poster that you can interact with. I don't remember the name of the quest, but after you interact with it, head this way. Be careful, there are mines. After you come in here, interact with this terminal. And select Memo Excavator. Now remember, this is from memory, so I don't actually have the quest right now, but I'm trying to remember exactly what I did. You can also find power armor in here. But interact with this terminal. Excavator module. You'll get the blueprints to craft your own. Some of the materials required to craft the excavator power armor might be difficult to get your hands on early on. I might make a video explaining how to get that. But as long as you join events like the Scorched Beast Queen fight, Scorched Earth, you should be able to get most of the materials required. And again, from memory, but I think you have to interact with this terminal again. I don't have the options on the screen, but I believe Excavator Armor Registration. And then come over this area and press this button and it'll scan it in and register it and give you the plans to craft a power armor station. Next, you're going to want to head over to the White Spring North entrance, and to really make the power armor shine and take it to the next level, you're going to need some mods. So go this way. And interact with this vendor. And the mods that I would recommend are emergency protocols. Core assembly is nice as well. But for now, you're really going to want to get calibrated shocks. Calibrated shocks is going to increase your carry weight. And that's really nice to have at the beginning. Lay down your power armor station in your camp and craft the calibrated shocks on your legs with the materials shown here. One major thing I wish that I had explained to me when I first started was, as you go through the wasteland, you're going to acquire plans. It'll indicate whether you've learned it or not by saying known next to it. Now, let's say that you're going for a fixer. If you want it to drop as a possible legendary, you have to learn the plan first, and that goes with all the weapons and armor. So it on the other side of that coin is if you don't want to have something to drop, let's say a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, which is pretty much useless, then don't learn the rocket launcher plan. Otherwise, that will pollute, so to speak, your loot pool and decrease the chances of you getting the weapons that you actually want. So there are quite a few plans that I have not learned because I don't want that to be a possible drop when I kill something. Here I'll show you that I have plans that I don't know and which will not be part of the loot pool as possible legendary drops. But that also increases the chance of me getting a drop that I actually want from my known plans. Fixer, for example. Now, whether you craft them or it's a drop, the overwhelming majority of the legendaries that you get aren't going to be very good. You're not going to have much of a use for them, and most of them aren't going to be worth selling for caps. For example, here's one that I got for 5,000, but it's not worth me actually using. Now, what you do with these is in the south in the ash heap, there's a place called the Rusty Pick. So you can take your unwanted legendaries there. Here, the Rusty Pick. You want to go to the interior. Make your way to the legendary exchange machine, which can also be found at any train station. And as you can see, I have a troubleshooter's excavator leg, and it's worth 45 script. Now, as you turn legendaries in, you're going to get a currency called script. And as it builds up, you can turn the script in for legendary modules. So in the same place, you can head over here to who everybody calls Mama Mumbles. It's the purveyor. And even though that you can do a random roll on a legendary weapon right then and there without actually having to craft anything, it's much more cost effective to purchase legendary modules and then craft them yourself. You also need legendary cores, which you can get from completing events. I'll head back to base, also known as Funland, to show you an example of me crafting a fixer and then making it legendary. If you want to craft a weapon to break it down for mods, I'd recommend a combat rifle, but for your own personal use, level 50 if possible. Equip Super Duper if you want to craft multiple to try to your hand in making it legendary. Select the fixer. Go to random legendary mods, select the 3-star. It takes 4 legendary modules, 5 legendary cores. You can get cores from completing events. And then let's craft it and see what we get. Let's see, we got, if not in combat, 100% VATS accuracy, limb damage, and minus 90% weight. It's not that heavy in the first place, so yeah, that's not very good. So we take our unwanted fixer. This one's not even worth selling for caps, maybe 1,000, and then we can head over to a train station, so I can show you the legendary exchange there. Usually outside, well, I believe always outside. Interact with it, and you can turn it in the same way you turn it in at the Rusty Pit. As you make your way through the wasteland, you're going to find all kinds of items that you can loot that can be broken down into all kinds of useful stuff, and all of it has a purpose. This, for example, the military ammo bag is ballistic fiber, and it's actually kind of difficult to get your hands on. Typewriters, the clipboards, all of it has a use, and some of it's more rare than others. But after you collect them, you can make your way to any workbench, even those in another player's camp, and scrap the items, and you can get spring, wood, Gear, screws, steel, ballistic fiber, as I said. Money for cloth. This typewriter is handy. And but that's going to take up room in your inventory. If you have Fallout First, it's handy. You can use a scrap box to store all your stuff. But otherwise, you have to store it in your stash, which takes up room that you don't want to take up. So, as you can see here, I'm storing all my junk in my scrap box, but I'm still full in my stash box. Go to a tinker's workbench, and then something that's I need when I don't have a subscription. You can bulk things, and you can reduce the weight that it takes up in your stash box, but it requires plastic. So if you're going to bulk up everything, you're going to need to get your hands on a lot of plastic. For plastic, one of the places I go to is Morgantown High School. There's a few, can't remember if it's ghouls or scorched, that are outside and inside here, but nothing too difficult. Throughout this whole place, you'll find tons of plastic. Here you see plastic pumpkins. Also a good place to pick up the microscopes. They've got useful components. Yeah, it looks like scorched. There's, of course, other useful materials. Yeah, see, there's just plastic everywhere. An actual pumpkin isn't helping for this purpose, but in here there's plastic plates and a shot in the butt, apparently. Guys are getting in my way. Yeah, okay, back to the plates. And then more plastic pumpkins. If this is if these are empty, you can hop servers because a lot of people are probably coming here grabbing this stuff. Bowling pins, good for cork. And honestly, I'm skipping a lot of things in here because the main purpose of this video is for plastic. The next thing I'd like to talk about is gaining levels and perk cards. Certain perk cards won't be available until you reach a certain level. But I'm going to show you here. I'm going to select level up, and then I'm going to select, let's see here, adrenaline. So I'm going to use a point to get an adrenaline card. And then I'm going to choose to level up again. And this one has 5 stars. So I can choose to rank it up to rank 2. And I can go all the way up to level 5, provided I have the levels to do it. And then at any time I want, if I decide a card isn't anything I want, I can scrap it to get perk points. Now you'll use perk points to rank up your legendary perks. You'll start at get your first available slot for legendary at level 50, then 75, then 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, I believe, up to 300. These are the ones I currently have equipped for my power armor build. These are all the ones that are available. And as you rank them up, the cost to rank them up increases with each star. As you adventure in the wasteland, of course you can go it alone, but don't be afraid to join a team. If you bring up your map, R1 on the PS5, you can either create your own team. It's just casual if you're just questing. There are benefits to different teams. Or you can join an already created team. Also, you can see events pop up. You can either go to them directly on your map, or you can bring up the world activity, R1, and then look for the events directly on your map and join them that way. As you're exploring the wasteland, you will get radiation. And when you radiate, you can mutate. I will show you a list of mutations that I have. I want to have these particular mutations because I have a bloodied build. But some mutations you're not going to want, especially depending on your build. So if you get radiation, you can use Radaway to remove the radiation, but it'll also remove your mutation. At least it has a chance to. You can use Rad-X to prevent the radiation, and it lasts for a certain amount of time, and it can wear off. But if you have a mutation you'd like to keep and you don't want Radaway to remove it, there are perk cards to help you with that. Starch genes. If you have starch genes done, you will never mutate. You will never mutate from rads, and Radaway will never cure mutations. So as long as this is on, you won't get a mutation you don't want, and Radaway won't remove it. Also, Class Freak negates the effects of your mutations. The negative effects of your mutations are reduced by 75%. Alternatively, if you like more control over your mutations, you can use an actual serum to get the mutation directly, these for example, instead of by random chance. These can be purchased from the Enclave over by White Springs. The White Springs bunker. Head inside. I will show you the convoluted path on how to get there, given that increased speed, to make it as clear and easy to understand as possible. Obviously, you have to be able to have access to the Enclave. You don't need the rank of General like you do to launch a nuke to access the Enclave. But every time I come in here, I get turned around. It's not exactly easy to make your way around here. But in here, the medical terminal, you can purchase the plans for Radaway and other useful medications. Here you can purchase the plans for the mods for the XO1 power armor. Let's see, this way I think? Yes. Here we go. And here you can either purchase at random already crafted serums, or for a very high price, the plans to craft your own. Alright, you lovable noobs, I hope this video helps. I plan on making more of these in the future. If there's anything specific that you'd like to know about, let me know in the comments and I will try to make a video about it. So, well, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.